If your last 3 hires didn't work out, the problem probably isn't the talent market. It's not that good people are hard to find, it's not that remote workers don't care, it's your process in finding them. After several hundred placements across 20 plus different countries, I can trace almost every bad hire back to 3 mistakes that the founder made during the interview process. And the simple fix for these 3 mistakes isn't just pay more. You don't need to pay 10-20% over the market rate. Let me show you these exact mistakes and how to fix them. The first mistake is hiring for skills instead of the working style. Most founders, what they're doing is they're writing a job description, they list out the skills, they find someone who checks all of those boxes on that job description. They have a great portfolio, they have solid experience, a good interview, and they decide to hire them. 2 weeks in, the founder is frustrated. The person's super talented, but there's something that is off. Maybe they're not taking initiative, or they're taking too much initiative and they're going totally rogue and ruining the relationship with the clients, or they just need constant feedback and hand-holding on every single little thing. The issue in this scenario is not the skill of the candidates, it's actually a working style mismatch. Every hire sits somewhere on 2 axes, and if you don't figure out where they are before you hire them, you're basically just gambling. The first axis is autonomous versus needs direction. Some people are going to thrive when you say, hey, here's the goal, let's figure it out. Other people need a clear SOP, a checklist, a daily stand-up. Neither is wrong, but if you hire someone who's autonomous and throw them into an SOP type of role, you're basically going to micromanage them and they're going to quit. If you hire someone who needs a little bit more handholding or direction and then throw them in the deep end, they're going to fail. The second axis is the fast and scrappy versus thorough and methodical. Some people basically ship quality that's 80% in like 2 hours. The other people will ship 98% quality in about 8 hours. A startup that's growing really rapidly needs more of the first people, the people who are going to get it to 80-90% and just launch it. A company that is more concerned about compliance, maybe in the financial, medical type of space, they need someone who's more that second, someone who takes those extra hours to make sure it's 98-100% done. But most founders never think about this. They never think about what stage of growth are they in, what stage of company are they in, and they just hire for the skills and then hope that the pace of their internal company matches what the candidate is used to. You see this a lot with creative hires. If it's video editors, graphic designers, e-com email designers, you find these designers and they're very focused on being creative. They want everything to be perfect. And then it takes them 5-6 hours to make a design and ship it. And that's not exactly what you want. It's better to have someone who is 85% is good, 90% is good, but does it much, much faster. So how do you even screen for these 2 axes? Well, there are 2 questions, and you could also do a test task, and I'll talk more about that in mistake number 2 because that pertains to that. But the 2 questions you can ask is, tell me a time when you were given a project with almost no instruction. What did you do? Can you walk me through your thought for planning the project and executing the project in its fullest? The second question is, you have a deliverable due in 2 hours. You're only 80% happy with it. Do you submit it? Do you ask for more time? What do you do? You basically want to understand, what is their definition of done? Are they someone who's such a perfectionist that everything needs to be exactly perfect before they send it and it takes 7 hours? Are they someone who can see what needs to be perfect and what can be 85-90% of the way there? And I'm not saying cut corners inside of your agency or online business, but you need to understand how these working styles work with each other or work against each other. Mistake number 2 that people make is they skip the test project with the candidate because their portfolio looks really good. A portfolio is simply just a highlight reel. It's just like someone's social feed or Instagram post. It's the best 5% of someone's work. It's curated, it's polished, and it's presented under ideal conditions with other really good work. But it's not a game tape. It's not a summation of what they're able to do. It's simply just the highlights. So for you to be able to better understand and make a really solid hire, you need someone to do a test project or do something that shows how capable they are, even if they have a really, really good portfolio. It's just like if you watch an NBA team or NFL team's highlight reel for the season or highlight from a game. If you only made the judgment of the team for the Seattle Seahawks or whoever they are from that highlight reel, you would think that they're the best team possible because they're just doing insane plays. But that doesn't actually show you the whole story. They could be losing that whole season. If you just hire based on the portfolio and it being really, really presentable, you're not going to be able to see how long the projects actually took, how much was actually theirs of that project, and how they handle your context inside of your agency. The test project, on the other hand, is going to show you the speed under a time constraint. It's going to show you that quality without you constantly giving them guidance. You're just giving them a simple write-up, a brief, and asking them to execute. And you're also going to be able to see whether they ask questions or ask for clarity. I know a lot of people don't like to utilize test tasks because there's a lot of drop off in the recruitment process from candidates once you give them a test task. The way to eliminate this drop off is simply just pay them for it. It doesn't need to be $50, $100. You can chuck 20, 30. just something that covers their bases. They don't want to do free work. And this shows you're actually investing in this recruitment process. Real quick, if you're watching this and you realize that your hiring process has some holes and you'd rather have someone who's done this hundreds of times, that's exactly what Zabota does. We source, we vet, and place the remote talent from 20 plus different countries. It's the first link in the description. Back to the video. The third mistake that people make again and again is there's no clear definition of success in the first 30 days of the new hire's tenure. Imagine this, you start a new job, day one, your boss says, great to have you here, here's your Slack login, here's the Google Drive, let me know if you have any questions. That's it, there's no goals, there's no priorities, there's no timeline. You have no idea what good actually looks like at that company. So you're just gonna spend your first week guessing if things are good enough, questioning your ability, not sure where you are inside of the company. You might pick the wrong tasks, get overinvested in the wrong tasks. You have no idea and you're getting frustrated because nobody told you anything different. And this is what most remote hires experience. People do this mistake, not just with VAs, but higher level roles as well. Because when you're working remote, it's not just like the office where you can overhear things. Your boss is right there. You can ask them questions. They can help you instantly. And the onboarding and ramp up can be so much shorter. You need to have exposure on the remote side of things. Because when a new hire doesn't have that definition of success in the first 30 days, they're going to default to doing one of two things. They're either going to do as little as possible to avoid making mistakes, or they're going to do way too much of the wrong thing. And both outcomes for them make them look like they're a very bad hire, but it's not even actually their fault. To fix this, before you ever post a job online to start attracting candidates, write a 30-day scorecard. This one-page document basically answers one question, and that one question is, what does this person need to deliver in the first 30 days for me to feel like this hire is making progress? And not stupid vague stuff like learn the systems, get up to speed, but specific measurable outputs. And here's a couple examples across different roles. A customer support lead, average first response time under 4 hours, first touch resolution rate over 70%, written summary of the top 5 recurring issues submitted to the founder, one SOP drafted for the most common ticket type. If you're hiring more of a virtual assistant or ops coordinator, inbox 0 by the end of each business day, weekly calendar review completed every Monday at 10 a.m., vendor contact list updated or organized in the project management system, one recurring process documented in an SOP without being asked. And this is going to change everything for the hire in their first 30 days, because when they wake up and they start on day one, they know what's expected. There's no guessing, there's no anxiety. They can focus entirely on execution and working towards that goal. And for you, you have an objective way to judge that hire. It's not just like, hey, the culture fit didn't seem that good, they don't seem proactive. The problem could be they just don't know what to work on. But if you have this scorecard, they know exactly what to work on, so it leaves very, very little room for error. So just to recap, the 3 mistakes. The first mistake is hiring for skills instead of that working style. And the fix for that are those 2 questions that I answered previously inside of this video. The mistake number 2 is trusting the portfolio. The fix for that is having this person do a paid test project. Mistake number 3 is not having a scorecard, or there's no definition of success. And that fix is mapping out what success looks like in the first 30 days of that role. If you fix these 3 mistakes, you're going to make dramatically better hires, not just slightly better hires, because you're fixing the root causes of why most hires fail in the first 30 days. So if you just want an expert to take this whole process off your plate and do it for you, someone who's done this 200 plus times across 20 plus different countries, click the link down below in the description and book a call. We'll show you how we can get your next hire in 21 days with a 90-day free replacement guarantee if it doesn't work out.